Hello everyone, it's me Krasimir Panayotov and we are back in the building with another video in the Rich Spirit channel. Now this year guys is the year of the bull, so a lot of profits are waiting for us and I can't wait to get this video done and show you my thoughts about the next week and about the market conditions right now in the Forex space. So let's start with the EURUSD and then move to the next pairs. Now on this market, this is the daily chart. We see that the euro dropped really nicely the last 2 weeks. So we had this new downtrend forming right here, okay. And what we saw in Friday is a good recovery of like 50% of the last week's drop. So this can continue even further to the upside, maybe to this resistance around 1.21, 550, maybe a little bit more. Also, good thing to mention that as we are on the uptrend, let's draw the uptrend line. So you can see that we already broke through this level, through this trend line. So this decline can continue to the downside, maybe again to this support area, maybe even lower to this beautiful support zone, or even lower to these lows over here. That could give a little balance to what have happened all this year 2020. Also, let's draw this trend line a little bit differently. You know, I love to draw my trend lines sketching the bodies of the candles, okay? So this is how my trend line looks. But if you do it like many other traders to catch the wicks of the candle, okay, like this, you can see that now the price is getting back inside the range of the trend. So if this continues, then it's another good time to buy, and this can continue with a new rally to the upside, like here. So that is also a possible scenario, and we have to be aware of that while trading. I will not trade this exact pair, but it's good to have an eye on it and be aware how the market moves, because all the euro pairs, all the USD pairs correlate with this pair. Also, we can of course have some consolidation around this area. That is also possible. Now I will not get too deep into this market, but if we start breaking this downtrend, we can definitely see some move to the upside, at least to this resistance right here, or to the next one, which is right here. Okay, let's move to the next pair, and this is the EURGBP. And on EURGBP, I have mentioned you this head and shoulders pattern, and that you can trade it as well. For now, the pattern is going well, but here we reached a support zone. So what we can see this week is a pullback to the upside if the euro recovers, maybe to the neckline. Now this pullback happens in 61% of every time we see head and shoulders. If that happens, then we can look for another short opportunities and reach our full target here. Now I had a trade on this pair, but I got out since this consolidation right here, because I really am not sure what is going on with the Brexit news, with the euro, with the pandemic and so on. So I decided to stick to more other pairs, and I will show you later what I'm talking about. On this pair we have the ultimate goal here. Why? Because this is the exact size of the head and shoulders, and it aligns perfectly with the next resistance zone right here. So this could be my ultimate target. Now if we see a pullback to this zone, maybe a little bit above, maybe a little bit less, sometimes happens differently, we can look for another shorting opportunities. if of course there are a lot of other evidences. Now if we recover a little bit higher, we can even reach this resistance level, or of course the tops of these triangles. Okay, now let's see also the GBPUSD, and what we have there is another uptrend, but not like the euro. You see, the things here are much more stable. If we go to the daily chart, we again have a strong push to the upside in Friday, but the decline down wasn't like the euro. We have a strong bullish trend here, and this for now is going on. Now we're reaching a resistance zone which can be respected. You can see on the weekly chart that here is the weekly chart that here was 1-2 times a nice resistance for the price. Now we can say that the next resistance is somewhere here, or a little bit lower first. This yeah, that's a good level of support and resistance. You see these lows here, this high over here, and this low over here. So that's the first resistance, and the second one I will draw somewhere here. If we continue to the back, you can see some lows here, and that's also a good one. So first our target on this pair will be this resistance, and then the next one, but this will take time. So we are still in consolidation. Now let's move to the 4-hour and see what we have here. I was trading this pair actually. I have seen this wedge pattern. Let me show you real quick. And I start feeling that it is getting cracking slowly. I drew something like this. So also there is a consolidation box right here, and usually when we break out of such consolidation, we can take profits nearly as much as is the size of the consolidation. So what you do is you take the size of consolidation and you take profit somewhere here. But in this case you had to take your profit a little bit earlier. Why? Because let's move to the daily chart and I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Now I'll pull back to the 4-hour. Now I was thinking to take profit around this low over here, okay, a little bit lower, but then I saw this support area right here, okay. Also you have these lows, so the support is starting even a little bit higher. You have these pin bars here, so I decided to take my profit exactly around this pin bar here, and that's exactly where the price did, and that was good because on the next hours there were the news, and that made this spike to the upside. Now this candle here on the 4-hour is the big shadow trade candle, and you can spot it by having this lower low and a higher high, higher and lower than the previous 6 candles, so it engulfs all the previous 6 to 10 candles. It's a massive. On a support level, it was a good opportunity to take it back to the upside. Now I really didn't take the buy trade on this pair, but I took on another pair, and I will show you very soon. It was the GBPCAD. I'm just recording this video second time because yesterday I have lost the sound of my first video that I made, and now I have to record it. I'm still very sleepy, but I have to hurry up and put it out there. So this is the EURJPY, and what you see here is the weekly chart and how the price is squeezed between this triangle shape pattern. Let's see the daily chart and see what we have here. On the resistance level, we have this interesting pattern, which if you put your imagination you can see inverted head and shoulders, which is not in a downtrend but in an uptrend and can be traded as a continuational pattern. Now this is something new, something I haven't read about it, but now I can use it. So if we break these necklines, these resistances, we can continue nearly as much as is the size of the head and shoulders itself. Okay, so we can go a little bit higher, probably to these highs over here, and that aligns perfectly with the size of the head and shoulders. But I also want to mention you this weekly trend line matching this high and this high over here. So we're exactly at this resistance, so the price can push back down, of course. If we break it, we're moving to the next trend line, which on the weekly is catching this high and this high over here, and that gives us a little space. A little move to the upside is really possible. So I think a safe target is this resistance right here, which I have mentioned earlier. Let's go back to the daily and see that there are two resistances here, and they are pretty strong because now the euro is weak, but also the JPY is very weak. You see later on the USDJPY and see what's going on there. It's really crazy. So we can see some pullback from here, but as I can see so far, the price is really consolidating, not that worthy trading the pair, and also the uptrend is very clear. So we are at support zones, which looks like are getting respected, and we should continue going higher. That's my opinion for now. Okay, that's it. Let's move to the next one. Okay guys, now let's check out USDJPY and what's going on here. I'm on the daily chart and you can see this beautiful downtrend started cracking very recently. Actually the previous week, not this one, the previous. So we had a breakthrough this downtrend. So what we expect? A new uptrend. But what is important is that very often after a breakout of the of an downtrend or uptrend, we very often see a retest of the same trend. So the price is very possible to come down and retest this downtrend, so it can bounce back up, break this resistance which we have on these highs, and continue with the uptrend. And that's beautiful. Then what you can see, we will have here, we have left shoulder, head bigger, and the right shoulder. So if we have this, it's possible to trade it as an head and shoulders. Now the pullback can be, sometimes it touches the trend line, sometimes it goes a little bit further, maybe to these previous lows, sometimes it just nearly touches it and then comes back up. And this would be a beautiful look for head and shoulders, because then your head will be lower than the right shoulder and will be more beautiful one, more easy to trade. So we have this breakout. Let's see on the weekly chart, and you see that this happens for a second week in a row, very strong moves to the upside. Now of course this can continue even third week, then we will have the three white soldiers if we have a big massive bullish candle here, and this will mean a long-term push to the upside. For me, it's more likely to see some sort of a pullback, some correction of the market, and then of course continuation to the upside. Okay, but that's also a resistance zone for now. We don't know if the US economy actually don't recover well. We can continue following as a magnet to the downside. That's it for this market, guys. That's my expectations. Actually, I like this breakout really, and this was expected. You can check out my previous videos. it was expected move. So that's why we make this analysis, to be prepared for the next weeks, and we to have a plan for our trading, not just enter a random trades. Now let's check out this GBPCAD trade which I told you about. Here I'm on the daily chart right now. As you can see here, I spotted this triangle pattern, okay, and I decided that the price is very discounted when the price was somewhere here, because we had all these highs here creating a support zone, and the price kind of break through it. But when we're in uptrend like this, it's hard. It's better way to buy on the uptrend. So that's exactly what I did. I bought somewhere here. Let's move to the 4 hours so I can tell you for sure. Yeah, I bought around these lows here. So at that time there came the news. I actually didn't expect the news. I set some stop loss. I will tell you also another thing, that I'm not that much for the short term as for the long term. So I trade the daily breakout of the triangle here, so I can really easily set my stop loss a bit lower. So this is a swing trade idea. It takes days, sometimes weeks to get there. So I can set my stop loss here or even below this triangle, because sometimes the price will want to test the previous support areas. Here you have a good support, and here you have also a mini support, and together with this trend line it's a good support area. So probably I will set my stop loss here so I can protect more of my capital. Okay, and if that's good, we can chase a target nearly as much is the size of the triangle in the beginning. So let's say this is the actual beginning. We can say that this was the beginning of the triangle, but no, I'll keep it real, I'll keep it simpler. Let's say this is our size of the triangle. So we can move from the last touch of the bottom line to the top line, and this is to the uptrend line of the channel, and this is the exact target which I have. So we expect a move to this previous high, to this channel. Now the channel can be a little bit more higher like this, and that's my ultimate goal. Okay, let's clean the chart. So I expect to take profit around this resistance, but also I have to be aware that here we have a strong resistance. You see all these highs stop the price here, and if we don't break these highs, then I can get a loss here. But I'm pretty positive about this trade. The GBP is very strong, the CAD for me is overbought, so let's see what we will have on this market. For now I see only my triangle pattern. I see a consolidation which can be respected but which can be broken. I'll show you the consolidation box right here. So if we break this box bullish, we can continue even higher to this next resistance zone on the daily. Why? Because I told you the consolidations we trade like this. We take the size of the consolidation, we apply it after a potential pullback, breakout, sorry, and we take profit right here. And it aligns actually well with our daily and weekly resistances, so this is a good opportunity, and I may take a second trade or leave half of my trade to run to the upside. Let's see what we'll have here. Now let's check some other pairs, guys. Let's see USDCAD and see that here we are consolidating, not much of a thing happening. USDCHF is actually a good market on which we had this head and shoulders pattern which played actually very well. I have mentioned this in my previous videos. So you take the size of the head and shoulders, you apply it, and you take profit at the top. And in this case, it aligns with the daily resistance, so it was actually a good trade. I usually don't trade this pair, but for those who took this trade, that was a perfect example of a well-played head and shoulders. Now, of course, from here, we can continue or to the upside if the USD continue with its trend, or we do have a healthy pullback to the trend line to retest, and maybe only then to create a new high. Okay, that's it for this market, guys. Let's see New Zealand USD weekly chart. You see what a huge uptrend on the weekly, and now here is interesting thing that if we move to the daily, we see this trend line going on, and also this type of triangle pattern or a flag pattern, which if gets broken to the upside, we can see another push to the upside, probably until the next resistance zone. If it breaks bearish, then very near we have a support zone right here, so from there we can look for a bullish signals to enter another long position. And that's it for this market. I will leave this trend because I actually like it. Let's say something like this. Okay, let's check out now gold, guys, and what we have here. This is the weekly chart. Let me see some of the resistances, the most important resistances which I have drawn on the weekly. Let's move now to the daily and see this inner trend line right here, catching all these lows, lows, low, low, but got broken. So this is not valid anymore, or at least not that much. Now the next trend line is this one here, which can be a little bit lowered like this, so we can catch the bodies of the candles. And you also have this channel, so the price is moving in this channel pattern. We can continue to the downside and meet this support of the trend line. Here we also have another support zone, so I will draw it so we can know where the price is headed. Also, I want to mention here another hidden channel. If you can see, I'm catching these highs over here, this one and this one, and you can see that on the bottom there is many lows that stick up with this channel. So this can be once again respected, and from here we to move up. If we break this one, we can go up to this upper side of the channel, and you have to be aware of this. This is some interesting new theory that I'm testing, and for now it works well. Now for here, I don't want to speak about big predictions, but you can see that we have a strong uptrend, now correction. If we have another uptrend move, then it will be huge. This looks like a flag pattern, and if it gets broken, here we have a fake breakout and then slam to the downside. But if we break again strong, we can see some nice move, maybe even with a new high. Nobody knows, nobody will tell you this, only the fake gurus and those who will scam your money. Let's check out then the S&P 500, guys. We see a huge uptrend, very, very nice for those who invested in stocks these years. That's huge. What Trump did, it was huge, and now still going up, even with Biden stepping up the matrix. Okay, he was always in there, actually, behind the scenes or right at the scene. Okay, what is this? This is Bitcoin, guys, and as you can see, the saga continues. So the price corrected for a freaking 25%, and then a recovery right now near the 40,000. That's crazy. I believe this is a strong resistance, but if we see another push, then I believe maximum to the 50,000 or 45. I don't give to this market 60,000. Of course, everything is possible with the greed and the craziness of the people's psychology, but yeah, it's possible way to create a new high, probably to the 50,000, and then maybe something more interesting. Also, a big drop, big shock is possible to happen, but wow, that's crazy. You see, the last time when we had such crazy move, the price lost like 60-70% of its last gain for the same time as it went up. So the same thing can happen here. Okay, and that's it for this video, guys. That's all which I wanted to share. Maybe if I have missed something, you can write in the comment section what pairs you would like I to check out in the next video. Now in this market we are at support level, but we also are in a nice downtrend, so we can even go lower. So let's have a positive, successful trading week, and let's invite you, if you're new to the channel, just to subscribe and get the next videos for free as always. And peace, guys. I'm out.